Poppin' Peeps, T-Money up in the house, here to do a review for Body Bags. I'm actually covering for Abby again tonight, so yeah, good to be back and with y'all. So the movie I chose for to review is one from 2016 by the name of Child Eater. This movie was just released, I think, a couple weeks ago is when it came out on DVD, but it's based on a short from the same director from 2011 or 12, I believe. So yeah, the film it's made in, or I guess it's Iceland. It's made in Iceland, or the director is from Iceland. But it was written and directed by Erlinger Otter Thoroddsen, who I'm not familiar with. None of the actors I'm familiar with either. It stars Colin Critchley, who plays the little boy, Lucas, and Kate Bliss, Helen, and then Melinda Chilton and Cara Durrett, and a few other actors. But I'll just read you guys the synopsis, and then I'll get into what I liked about the film, what I didn't like about it. It says, babysitting can be a real nightmare, especially for Helen, who's stuck looking after Lucas, a frightened boy who says he hears noises coming from his bedroom closet. But when Lucas disappears, possibly at the hands of an infamous supernatural serial killer, who, as legend has it, eats children's eyes to keep from going blind, Helen's only option? Enter the dark, creepy woods where the mythical Child Eater lives in an attempt to save Lucas from a grisly fate. So what I really liked about the film is kind of like, it's basically about this boy, Lucas, who has a great imagination, like a child imagination. I can see a lot of myself in the things that he fantasizes. Hey, Pipsy. And he basically moves into this new house with his father. His mother died, and his father's going out, I guess, on a date or something. He's going out for the evening, so he's being babysat. But Lucas, in the beginning of the film, he's like out roaming around in the woods, and he sees this like man across the lake standing, I guess, like 3 stories up on this abandoned building. And then he goes home and tells his father, the old man's out. And then his father's like, oh, you saw the bird watcher again. And Lucas's imagination runs wild. He thinks he's like an old creepy man who's going to hurt him and stuff, and he might be right. So he's very, very concerned about this old man that he sees. And I just really liked, there's one point where he says, Dad, well, there's like a hole in the basement of their house, and he's like, Dad, I wonder if the old man knows about this hole, and he's been in here and stuff. And it's just, he's very paranoid. He lets his imagination run wild about this creepy old man that he sees, and he's very afraid of him. And I just really liked, I could relate to that, being a kid and psyching myself out over, creepy things and stuff and whatever. But so what I really liked about the film is I really liked the setting. It kind of takes place in like this abandoned theme park or old building where the Child Eater, legend has it, took kids, and ate their eyes out, and he would hide them and kidnap them in this old abandoned building. But I just really like the setting of the woods behind the kid's house, and like I said, the lake and the abandoned house. Very eerie, very creepy. It's a dark film. It's not, I'm really sick of horror comedy, so it's a very serious horror film too, so I really appreciated that, and I liked how it just took the genre seriously, and as a result, it was pretty scary. There were definitely some creepy moments. So what I really liked was the setting, the characters, the kid was good, Helen was good. I heard some people saying that they didn't like the main actress. I didn't have a problem with her. I thought she was fine. And most of all, the Child Eater. His name is, I think, Robert Bowery. He is amazing. You can see him on the cover here. I mean, sorry, something stuck in my teeth. Very, very creepy. And he looks awesome in the film, and I think he's a really good monster that has been created, that they have here. And I think there's potential for this to create some sequels to the film, and I just think it has a lot of potential. It's a good story, and the killer, the monster, the mythological creature, Child Eater, is an awesome character that they've created. I really liked the scares, the kills. There's a scene in the beginning where Helen... So basically Helen's babysitting Lucas, and she goes up to his room, and he says, Helen, there's somebody in my closet. And she says, no, you're just letting your imagination run wild. We shouldn't have watched that horror movie on TV. Now you're scared. And he's like, no, there really is. She doesn't believe him. she goes downstairs, she's messing, her ex-boyfriend comes over, very typical, and they're arguing and stuff, and then she hears a noise, she goes back upstairs, and Lucas is gone. So, they go out into the woods behind the house, the forest, to try and find him, the ex-boyfriend and Helen, and there's this scene in the beginning where the ex-boyfriend's outside, and he sees this, like, shadowy, dark figure leaning against, I guess, like a house. It almost looks like an old camp cabin or something. And he says, "Sir, can you help us? We're looking for a little boy or whatever. We lost him." And then he falls into a bear trap, and then it turns out the man that he sees, this is kind of like your first encounter with the child eater, is the child eater, and he comes up and he rips the kid's eyes out and starts eating them. But it's just a very creepy scene. Sorry to spoil it, but just awesome. There are like several very creepy moments in this film that all have to do with encounters with the child eater. Another one, they're looking for him in the abandoned building, and he springs out on a police officer. Just a lot of creepy scenes with this blind man. One in the closet where Helen's she goes to take a second look to see if the boy maybe is not lying. Come to find out, he's like there in the closet. Just a lot of kind of jump scares, but not like stereotypical like Insidious style jump scares. It's unique in that sense. It's really creepy, and not so intentional. I don't think it's just scary. Yeah. I'd say the film lacked. The biggest problem I had with the film was they didn't really have develop much of a backstory for Robert Bowery, aka the child eater. So you're kind of wondering, okay, is this a man or is this a legend? Because there's some truth to it. Like, supposedly this man, because they talk about it in the film, so he was once a man that he kidnapped children, ate their eyes because he was blind, and they thought it gave him power or whatever. But it's like kind of got that whole like Jason Voorhees mythological question mark. Like, okay, well, he has like these long crazy fingernails, so he's supposed to be a man, but he's very supernatural. There are a lot of supernatural elements about him. He doesn't look like a man. He looks like a monster. So the backstory definitely lacked. The film lacked a solid backstory, which was kind of frustrating because you want to know more about this guy, you know, other than and why he is the way he is now. And there's also a child in the beginning of the film. This young girl has an encounter with the child eater. He eats her eye, but she survives. She's blind, I think, in one eye. And she kind of comes back into play too. There's a scene where they're driving down the road. I think it's like the father or the police officer and his daughter Helen, because Helen's father is a police officer. He's the main sheriff. So they're driving, I think, to Lucas's house because she's going to babysit him, and she sees this creepy woman on the side of the road with one eye and almost just looks like a haggard old bum or whatever. But it turns out it's this blind woman who was a victim of the child eater but survived, and she comes back into play, you know, very traditional, wanting to save the day and help Lucas. But there's also kind of like some bad things about her, I think. You're not really sure what her motive is because she's not in the film for very long. So there's a lot of question marks, like, and I guess plot holes in the sense that it doesn't go into depth about the characters' stories, and that's important for this film because it's very much based on, you know, this man and this mythological creature. They try and blend in this story with like sparrows or some kind of birds and the whole like legend with them and why they eat the eyes. It gets a little complicated, so there needed to be more of a description, in my opinion, or a backstory about where these characters are coming from. But other than that, I really enjoyed the film. I highly recommend it. It was a breath of fresh air for me, because I just feel like there's a lot of fucking movies lately that are like trying to be funny, like horror comedies, and like that movie Easter Sunday. Totally different slasher film, but it was fucking the humor in that was horrendous. I hated it. So breath of fresh air. Definitely check this movie out, Child Eater. I don't know about you, but I was right off the bat intrigued by this title and cover artwork. It does deliver. It does not disappoint. I mean, this character is awesome. He has a lot of potential for a good future. Maybe a franchise with this guy, but like I said, maybe in the future they'll start providing more cues about his backstory and stuff. And if you watch the end of the film all the way to the end, there's another scene Just so you know, after the end credits, just check that out if you watch this, just so you're aware of that. But Child Eater from 2016, from Iceland director. I want to say Icelandic director. I don't know what the abbreviation for Iceland is, but Erlinger Otter Thoroddsen. Very solid film. I want to see if this guy's done anything else because I really like this. So check it out. Child Eater. You can get it cheap. I think it's like 10, 12 bucks on Amazon or Diabolic DVD. So get it, please. I highly recommend it. All right, guys, that's my review. Hope everybody's doing well. I will catch you on the next cover review for Body Bags with Horror Eyes. Peace.